Julie, welcome to two podcasts. So we've never done this before. You are on the Rain or Shine podcast. You are on This Peaceful Mama Leads with Emily Elliott, and we are so thrilled to have you. You are actually a guest speaker at the April 17th WAVE event, and we cannot wait for our audiences to get to know you better. Maybe they haven't bought a ticket yet, and they want to snag one of those final few spots. So we're really excited to have you here. So thank you so much for being here today.
Oh my goodness. I'm overjoyed that I get to connect with such high vibe women creating awesome lives. Thank you.
We are so thrilled. And just for some context for the listeners, so Emily first met you at Little Lake Market, which has a soft spot in our heart. It's in Puslinch Lake. We've actually hosted WAVE events there. You guys naturally connected over your love of holistic health. And then going even way further back in 2013, I was a student at the Canadian School of Natural Nutrition. I remember you walked through the doors, you gave us a presentation on building your holistic nutrition business. And as a student, I thought, oh my goodness, this is what's possible for us as a profession. So it's really cool that there's so many synergies and connections within the community. And let's kick things off. So we're thrilled to get to know you better. Can you just give us a quick kind of backstory? You were one of the, I would say, first holistic nutritionist to start building a brand in public. What was that like, paving your own path? Like, did you have people to model this business and this career after? Did you feel like you were kind of like charging your own way forward? What was the feeling there?
I purely created it out of a passion to help transform people's health. I did not really think about brand. I think it's so interesting that this was 1999, just to age myself. You know, I was graduating just with full of hope. I co-owned a health food store with at the time probably 35 other people that grew to 60 people, which is the Big Carrot natural food market. And it's built very much on a worker co-op model. And we were just wanting to have a person able, like I created the job of let's have one person walk the customers around one at a time and show them all the foods that fit their actual health needs. And that was brand new. That wasn't, now it's very popular to do, but to book in with a nutritionist and then to be able to do the guided store tour, you can imagine how incredible that was on a business standpoint because it boosted sales, but how much it really cemented loyalty because we were giving the service away completely for free. And that's really where I was passionate. I just wanted so much to gain more knowledge. And that's why I became a formal nutritionist so that I had some accreditation to offer people.
That's really cool. And I think it's so important to double tap on a couple things there. Number one, you kind of said, like, I didn't get in this to like build a massive company and like I had these big entrepreneurial dreams. You're like, no, I loved this stuff. Like, I really wanted to help people. And I believe you also have your own backstory of perhaps why health is so important to you too. So it was more of like almost like I have to do this because the world would be a better place if I put effort in this direction. Is that how you felt?
100%. Like when I nearly died of food poisoning in Thailand. And I was so ill that when I got better, I just wanted the world to know that you could have an extraordinary breakthrough simply by changing what you're putting in your mouth, that we're not just fueling our body with every choice. We're actually rebuilding every cell of our body. Like we get to do this incredible upgrade, like a constant renovation of our building, you know? And so it was so natural and so easy to move in this direction. So I hope that no matter what area you're choosing to build as a brand, there has to be that organic spark of just like insatiable need to share.
Well put.
Incredible tip. So rewinding to those days, I think one thing that's so key about how you started building your foundation was that you had a network within that health food store. You had other co-owners. There was people passing through the shop. But I'm curious, what were some of those other things you did in the early days when you started to want to reach beyond that shop and start to maybe impact people outside of the four walls of the store? Do you remember, how did you get yourself out there to get those next 10 clients that maybe didn't shop at the Big Carrot?
I think a big thing that people may not be aware of is that I really leaned into my acting background. So if you've never had the opportunity to take an acting class, take an improv class, take another great one is going to Toastmasters. I really leaned into that in those early days. I did all of it. And that truly helped me have a larger reach organically. So know that I actually do have a full degree in theater and then nutrition. So it's wonderful to really marry those two together. So if you don't have any background in performance, this is an opportune year to go take that improv class, because it gives you this, listening to the yes, going with the momentum is such a powerful and fun thing to be doing. And it makes you a more playful person, which is simply awesome. And then getting those presentation skills down with something like Toastmasters. I just absolutely love getting better at our craft of sharing. That's all we're doing is I really got out of my own way and got rid of my stage fright by working this, I'm just here to serve.
Mm-hmm. And what an invaluable tool to be. I know you're calling it like acting and performance trained, but almost thinking ahead, like now you're media trained. So just to have that confidence on camera. And now in 2016, when we're recording this, every business owner has a phone, which is basically their own media outlet that they can create content around. So it's like kind of what you're sharing is like, if you're not confident, if you're not having fun on camera, if you're not comfortable speaking to an audience, whether it's in front of your digital screen or delivering a presentation at the Big Carrot, like you might not be connecting with your community and your audience in the way that you want. So I think that's so cool that that was part of your background before becoming a nutritionist, but it's also like really come through all these years and has helped you, I'm sure, in many ways to just grow your brand and visibility.
You got it.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It's funny because I actually remember the talk you gave back in 2013. And I think you alluded, I don't know if you shared much about your performance background, but it really made me realize that for all of us, we all have a work history or a background that's not the thing we're doing right now. For you, it was like you became a nutritionist, but you had this performance background. I remember a few people from my class, they were nutritionists, but also models, or they were nutritionists, but their parents owned an organic farm and they were like running around the dirt. And it's like, sometimes we try to discount the past, being like, well, I spent all this time in this past profession. What does it matter? But I think what you're saying is like, it matters. Like lean on the skills you have from any previous chapter of life. And it's like, how can you bring those in to where you are today? And like right at the crux of that is probably your magic in your profession. It's like what makes you so unique.
I love that. And I completely agree. So good.
What were some of the biggest changes over maybe like the last 20 years? So from 2005 to 2026, where we are today, what were some of those big changes you needed to make as an entrepreneur in order to keep getting visible? Like, did you have to adopt new technology? Were there things that actually really changed that maybe you would just kind of like bring us up to speed on how that journey has unfolded over the last 20 years of staying relevant?
You do have to learn when to let go. Because, for example, I don't know if you guys are ever going to remember this, but there was a whole social media platform called Periscope. And then there was another one called Meerkat. And then Instagram came out with their Live, and it completely eclipsed and destroyed any need for those platforms. But some people were so invested, they already had like 10,000 followers on those platforms. So they kept investing there when they needed to just bail and take on the new. And the one thing that I really hope people get is that we cannot be attached to the delivery system. So we're just here to ride a boat and that boat carries our message, and we better be pliable. I had another thing happen to me recently. I lost 55,000 followers on Facebook. My whole account was hacked. This is something that I built since I was one of the first people on Facebook, 2008. Okay. 50,000 organic people I didn't pay to get. Those were gold people, right? And then somebody broke into my account and impersonated me, started selling actual weight loss supplements, and then shut me down and killed my page. And Meta would not do anything about it. They have zero customer service.
No.
So when I had this devastating loss, like, guys, this is the way I run my business now. I am an online entrepreneur. So this was just like, I was one, shocked that Meta wouldn't help me. Two, absolutely gobsmacked that they couldn't resurrect it after they shut it down. So I had to just pivot so hard and really remind myself, you have to build your own home. You have to invest where you are. That's where I doubled down on my own platform, making sure that I had like my inner circle nurtured, that my newsletter became the biggest thing, that I every week give people a love note where I really put time and investment, up to 5 hours doing that, so that I said, no matter what happens to me, I've built my own safe shore. And that definitely changed my reality. And I feel like I have a much tighter and well-oiled machine now because I had to let go of Facebook. I have it, but it's got like 5,000 people on it.
I'm trying to think like what the greater business lesson there. I love that you said build on your own land. And like, imagine if Facebook was your only platform. Like, I think a lot of entrepreneurs, they put all their eggs in Instagram. They're like, I'm not going to network. I'm not building a website. I'm not doing anything. I'm just going to go all in on my Instagram strategy. And it's like, if you only have one outlet, your business is so risky, right? So thank goodness you had these other strategies in place. So yeah, I think in order to de-risk any business, it's like make sure that you're spread, wide, not just going deep on one platform.
Absolutely.
I'm curious, Julie, looking back, is there an investment, maybe something you spent time on, money on, maybe it was a relationship that you prioritized that you feel had a really major return on investment for your career? Maybe it was a big leap that happened because of it, but curious, what was a really good spend of time or money or energy for you?
The biggest investment that I've made financially is investing in Tony Robbins technology.
Oh, wow.
I feel that's why I can bring the mindset piece to the conference. It's being trained by the best in the business, spending tens of thousands of dollars on that technology has totally changed my life forever, because he has fundamentally hypnotized me to choose to live a beautiful life. So no matter what happens, and trust me, I have stuff that's happened that when people find out, they're like, really? Like, you're still okay? Because I just have a stand now. Like, no matter what happens, I choose to have a beautiful life. And it just helps beyond measure. So invest in your self-care and invest in your mindset, because I promise you that once you are confident, once you are unstoppable, once you are truly able to talk to yourself with a positive frame, because I used to have massive negative tape loops running, right? And now I hear them, I hear that voice in my head, but there's a louder voice that pulls me forward to a much greater outcome. So it's worth to invest in those practices.
So valuable. And I know that's why we have our wonderful Emily Elliott, resident mindset expert inside of Wave too, because it's so powerful. And, one of the core values of Wave is that we literally are going to get smashed with tidal waves as entrepreneurs, but we have to be able to ride out these waves. We need the tools. We need the mental strength. We need the physical strength, because being in business over the course of 10 years, 20 years, 30 years is not for the faint of heart. It's going to rock you in so many ways. So I just love that you shared like that has been the single most important investment is really in yourself. Like it's not in like paying the Facebook ads guru to teach. It's like, no, none of that matters if you are not really committed to the vision and staying the course. So that's amazing. Okay, final question from me. A lot of our attendees at Wave know that you've written many books, books that have sold a lot of copies. I'm not sure how many, but they've done quite well. I see them everywhere. I'm just curious. This is an open-ended question. What's one thing about writing a book or book marketing that nobody really tells you until you're in it? Maybe it's something unexpected, positive, or negative that we don't know about book marketing.
I think one thing that might surprise people is only 0.001% of people make money at books. So if you would understand that it actually costs me money to write those books, that I actually, even though I've sold hundreds of thousands of copies, I can't say I've ever earned serious money from my books. Like you only earn $1 to $2 a book. So imagine how hard it is to make a living at books.
Yeah.
You write a book to have a calling card to open up the rest of your career. So that's why I write books. And I also write books because it distills my belief system. There's so much focus and dedication that has to happen for you to have that distillation process. And then what they don't tell you is you're going to submit that masterpiece and then you're going to have an editor go and hand it back to you. And you're like, oh, and then you're going to have to digest it back. And there's going to be 5 edits. And in that process, it's going to be a different book than when you started. And you have to be okay with that. You can't be attached to, I need it my way, or you won't work with a publisher. So that's one thing that was really shocking to me. And on the 4th or the 5th one, I started to go, okay, this is co-created. I can't be attached to what they decide to scratch out or change. Yeah, it was really interesting.
Well, I know you'll be speaking on a lot more of these topics at our event. So, people will have to come grab their ticket if they want more from you. But I'm going to pass it over to Emily. And this is the fun part about this interview. We get to continue the conversation, but take a little bit of a different turn. So over to you, Em.
Yeah, Julie, I've heard such beautiful, potent reflections. And something that I love hearing across each topic is this idea of surrender and letting go as an entrepreneur, whether it's letting go of a platform or letting go of attachment to your book looking just one way, right? So this kind of like idea of open-mindedness. So thank you for everything you've already shared. And we're seeing that marketing and mindset are truly connected because as you and Kelsey spoke, they were just, fusing one into the other. And I want to lead in with something I believe to be the most important mindset topic today in this modern world, especially in this holistic health world that you, Kelsey, and I thrive in. Have you ever experienced burnout in your career? And if you did, what did you do about it?
I came close because I ended up doing a book tour that had me going. So when you do media for your book tour, you have to get up at like 5 a.m. So I was doing morning media. And then at the end of the day, I was doing another book tour stop where I was talking to, hundreds of people and doing the book signing until about 10 o'clock at night. So you can imagine that intensity just puts like a pressure cooker on you. So I think the big thing that prevented the burnout is that in those few hours I had before, between when I finished and when I had to start again, there just had to be a massive self-care ritual. And I'm a huge fan. I never used to be because I have ADHD, but I now have an actual app that keeps me on trend to click off my healthy habits.
So good.
It's called Finch. And I just love it because you actually grow a microped and you have points and it's extremely dopamine enriching for my ADHD mind. But by clicking off the self-care practices, I get to them. And I used to pay them lip service, but not do them. But now, like, there's a whole wind down thing where I do my, like a beautiful vasovagal toning and, my skincare. And there's just such a wind down, like a hot bath with Epsom salts. Like, there's a beautiful ritual that does keep you in that space of just being able to cope in the crisis. And then when that work intensity is over, you better take a break.
Yes.
In the break, that's where, you just like, I'm okay. I'm okay with reposting some of my social content. I have 7,000 posts. 2,000 of them no one has ever seen. So I can replay the greatest hits and just take a break, get offline, and rejuvenate your nervous system, because that's all you got. Without your nervous system, you don't got a career.
Yes, so beautiful. I love the way you put that. And it is funny how we put the self-care last, yet we know when we fill the battery back up, the breakthrough moment, the creativity, everything starts flowing again. So I think that's a super important reminder. And for people who love the checklist dopamine, check out that link, which we'll put in the show notes. And I guess that ties into my next question. Talking about taking care of ourselves and the challenges of business, were there days you fully wanted to throw in the towel and give up? And how did you talk yourself out of it?
Yeah, I almost gave up in 2020. So know that in 2019, I'd had one of the best years of my life. I was standing on some of the largest stages I've ever been on, 1,500 people at a time, like just crushing it beyond. And then like 95% of my income came from public speaking, to going to 2020 when the world shut down. And I had a really hard choice to make. I could either fire my staff, collect CERB, and call it a day, or I could dip into my RSPs, pay my staff, and pivot the hardest I've ever pivoted in my entire life. So I went 100% from external, having huge sponsorships, getting on big stages, to only having my own individual group. And we opened this incredible 5-pillar wellness support group called Thrive Hive. And that was born out of the pandemic. So we just started online, a small, fierce force. Now we have about 218 wellness warriors together. And we grow it month over month with a team of other powerful people who so happen to be my family. So that was one of the biggest reasons why I couldn't give up.
Wow.
House to feed, man. I didn't want to fire my family. Right?
Wow.
And then we all went about, like, my sister's the herbalist, my nephew's the movement coach, my brother is the yoga instructor, my husband, does a lot of the tech and support of building people up from the mindset perspective. So when you have that 5-pillared approach, there's just so much love that it's moths to the light, and it's been working.
I just got full body chills. Thank you for sharing that so openly. And just know that on this side of the camera, too, we had a lot of pivots and a lot of big changes and decisions in the pandemic. So I think these are important things to talk about, right? Because online, everyone can look at someone like you and say, she's killing it every day. She doesn't understand my struggle as an entrepreneur. So as we talk through these high highs and low lows today, that's really helpful to an entrepreneur going through the waves. Let's take it to the other side, Julie, because I know sometimes when a new entrepreneur is in that fear response or worried about the future, it's also important to look at those high highs. So was there a specific moment that really accelerated your business growth? Or maybe it's a moment where you're like, ooh, my dreams have come true.
My dreams came true. I can tell you exactly. So I auditioned for Healthy Gourmet on the Oprah Winfrey Network in June 6th, which was my birthday. And I thought it was an amazing audition. I felt really good about it. And then I didn't hear from them for 6 months. And in that 6 months, it was a slow process of letting go, saying, well, I didn't get it. There must be somebody else out there that they wanted, right? And then I started to create a chant through my experiences of Tony Robbins. I'm like, I'm going to write a song that's going to keep me in possibility, that I would sing in the shower while I was washing my hair. So I'd wash my hair and I would sing this amazing song. And one of the lines was, you're a TV star, get your show on and get paid. All that glitters is gold. It was like a mashup of the Smash Mouth song. So I was singing this like, you're a TV star instead of a rock star, right? And I was kept the faith, and I'll never forget on Christmas Eve, on the December 24th, 6 months later, I get this call. Hi, we'd like to offer you Healthy Gourmet. Are you still available? And I was just like, oh my gosh, like getting an international 78 country TV show was a highlight moment. And just keeping the faith, just like, well, I believe at some point, there's going to be some resonance that works. So there's my highlight moment.
That's absolutely incredible. Thank you for sharing that. And just to reflect back to you, you are definitely known as a household brand. So all of your success and all the hard work has paid off because you are visible, you are out there. I'm sure that also comes with a degree of risk tolerance. Julie, was there ever a moment where someone said something negative about you and you kind of had to just take it with a grain of salt and move on? Has that been part of your journey, getting negative feedback?
I think I have had some pushback recently. I can speak to recently. I've had pushback around the fact that there's a body positivity movement out there that will have people feel like we should never talk about this is such a tricky topic, but I'm going to go there. That we need to accept ourselves exactly as we are. And I 100% believe we need to love ourselves exactly as we are.
Mm-hmm.
But there's something in a lot of people's blind spots, which is at a certain point, visceral fat is going to cause massive inflammation and drive the risk of all the major mortality risks, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm bravely trying to expose that. And sometimes I do get negative feedback, and people are like not wanting anything to do with diet. And that's why I'm like, it's not a diet. What I'm really having people look at is a live it. We're trying to find a way of living, not something that you fall off in 21 days, but something that's workable in your own life.
Mm-hmm.
Will help you get rid of unwanted visceral fat and reduce your pain and inflammation as the main focus of the rest of our life. And I think the fact that I'm a little hardcore, sometimes there's a pushback on that, but I'm starting to understand I don't have to be here for everyone.
Yeah, of course.
Here for the people who are sick and tired of being sick and tired.
Your people will find you. And I love the way you put that, knowing who you're here to serve and being honest to your message and the evidence you've researched over the years. And I think it points to, I love attracting people who can hold a level of duality where you were able to take it through, yes, love yourself, self-acceptance, and look at health data as well, and just integrating multiple points of view in one place. So thank you for sharing that, because I think we all rub up against that. Will I be liked? What will people say? Are people distorting their opinion of me? And then for a new or mid-level entrepreneur, they might turtle shell, which is why this is an important conversation, because you're like, ooh, that felt uncomfortable. This is important to me. Let's keep going. So thank you for sharing that. That's so helpful. And as we wrap up here today, Julie, I would love to know, what is the one mindset tip you would give an entrepreneur who wants to achieve the level of success, visibility, and impact that you've created in your career? What is the one top mindset tip?
Never forget why you're sharing, and definitely have that pep talk with yourself, how you can be a gift to others through the conversation instead of it being about what you can gain. I promise you that works. I promise you that if you give generously, that it is so rare in this world that it is definitely noticed. I had a mentor once tell me, give away the gold and sell the silver. And today, like, I feel like this interview, we've given so much, but there's still so much to be gained in coming and meeting everyone live and doing the Wave event live.
Yes.
So we don't have to be stingy with this, because we can trust that there's going to be 10 times more when everyone gets together. And there's such a dynamicness to being live that I just love so much and can't wait to have that big of. Can you imagine the oxytocin in the room?
Yes.
Yes. There's actual proof that when women gather in an ancestral way, like just gather IRL, no screen, that it's anti-inflammatory and pro-hormone boosting. So, I mean, we're here for that.
So
Yeah, that's a wonderful answer. Such a generous, high vibrational response. And I would encourage everyone to think about that. Where can I give? Where can I be in service? And I think naturally that's how the most abundant life unfolds. Not even just business, friendship, giving back to the community, the earth. I think that's a brilliant way to live. So thank you, Julie. This was so incredible. Thank you for being vulnerable, sharing your very cool stories along the way. And as we wrap up today, I will let Kels finish over.
Amazing. Yeah. So, like we said at the beginning, if anyone is interested in coming to the event, we'll leave all the links in the show notes. Julie, this has been so much fun. We are so grateful to have featured you on both of our shows and to be able to all hang out live. Like you said, there's nothing better than gathering 80 amazing, ambitious women in a room. So, where can people connect with you in the meantime? Where are the best places for them to follow you, purchase your books? Leave us some links so that we can support you.
thank you. Well, if you want to join my amazing 5-pillar wellness community, it's just thrivewithjulie.com. And my name, Julie Daniluk, will reach Instagram and all the socials, just my name, at Julie Daniluk. And my website's also juliedaniluk.com. So really looking forward to connecting with everybody. I will be just a hug machine. If you are up for it, would love that, and can't wait to also enjoy food with you guys. Like, you guys have dialed in some wonderful choices, and we're going to have that amazing opportunity to break radishes instead of bread and have some fun. I can't wait to hear the other speakers. It's going to be amazing.
So true. It's going to be such a cup-filling day. And you're right. We need to stay nourished as we absorb all of each other's wisdom. So we are so excited. Thank you so much, Julie, for sharing your time and your energy today. And we cannot wait to see you in a few weeks.
Yay.
Thanks, Julie.